as you well know, bowling is a different game nowadays. There have been quite a few significant changes in the sport.
Gary, they certainly have. Starting with the pro pin. Not only is the color changed, this pin is 4 ounces heavier. It's going to be a little tougher for our pros to knock them down.
What's up, guys? Brunswick's back. And these are Brunswick Gold Pins from the PBA. Late 90s in all of its glory. I happened to find a couple of cases of these out in the mighty warehouse here at Brunswick. So I'm going to attempt to bowl with them to see if they affect the way my ball hits or carries. Before we get to all that, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now, let's see what Gold Crowns does versus Brunswick. All right, this is going to be a fun challenge. Brunswick versus the PBA Gold Pins. Now, the history on these pins is they were introduced in the PBA 1998 season, in the Touring Player Championship. At least that was the first time I've ever seen them on live TV there. So the difference between these pins and regular pins is about 3 to 4 ounces. In my test, I showed mine at 3 pounds, 10 ounces and change, and the standard red crown pin was 3 pounds, 7 ounces. So there's going to be a little bit of variance between pins. There's a range they could be in. But the maximum weight allowance was 3 pounds, 10 ounces, and that's what these are. Let's get to it. Another note, I may have to cut a little bit in this video because I only have 20 of these pins, so it actually takes 21 pins to make a full rack. Sometimes it's going to take a little bit longer, so I'll probably cut and edit a little bit this video to keep it flowing. So here we go. I guess. I've never bowled on gold crowns before. I'm using a high speed today. I'm really comfortable with this ball. I think I can do some damage. We're gonna try. You know, we're gonna see what this does versus my normal stuff. All right. So the things that they introduced these pins for was to combat, you know, the higher scoring pace that was going on in the PBA Tour. I mean, 96, 97 year. They brought these out in 98. And fun story is they actually used these throughout the whole tournament in some cases. You know, I was told that these were actually trucked from stop to stop for the rest of the 98 season and also used in the shows up until about 2000. So I think the whole process of getting them from stop to stop, that probably cost a whole lot of money. And then they eventually just, I think, singled it out to just use on the shows up until like the 2000 season. I didn't see it again in 2001, but maybe there's an internet sleuth out there that can correct me. So let's try it again. 4 pin on that one. Let's try it. Oh, it's terrible. Terrible. So the thing you get, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, right? 3 ounces, 4 ounces, call it 4. You know, even at 3 ounces difference between the pins, times 10, that's almost 2 pounds difference in that set of pins. That's a pretty big difference. It's like running into a heavier wall there. So, is that gonna hurt you or help you in the long run? You know, it's typically gonna hurt your carry because you're gonna suffer on light hits. It's gonna be a lot harder to get that ball back through the pins. Come on, ball. But, as you can plainly see, I don't have any problem with that, baby. That was pretty. And the gold pins, they're definitely wild looking, aren't they? You know, that ball got through really strong there. But, that was high flush, perfect shot. What's gonna happen when I hit those half pockets? Am I gonna leave some 7-10s? Am I gonna leave a 5 pin? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Oh, it's in the oil. Bad. I knew I was gonna get punished with that. Pretty much as soon as I let it go. Bad, bad, danger, danger, stranger danger. So, yeah, on the off hit there, I paid the maximum penalty. Get my 1 pin on the fill ball if I'm lucky, and move on. Let's try it again. I mean, we see what happens there when I don't hit flush or when I hit flush. Yeah, big difference there with how the ball goes through the pins there. Come on, baby, give me some pins. A little bit slower rack, just like I said, we don't have that extra pin in the rack. I only had 2 cases of these. Oh, yes, come on. That one definitely created some angle to the pocket. It struck, but what did the ball do? Hit the pins, deflect. Happens. I mean, it takes a perfect shot. You know, they say if you want to lower the scoring pace, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do it with the oil pattern. You can make it hard. But if you added heavier pins again, if the PBA added heavier pins again, there would be quite a bit of difference between the scoring pace now and again. I think we got the issue solved with the pins, so it shouldn't be an issue here on out. But let's try to create some damage on these pins here. It's in the oil. Trouble. Ah! So the heavier pins definitely will create more corner pins. Just because you're going to get that extra deflection upon impact, and you're going to have more issues getting it through the pins. So what do I always say? Your ball has to get through the pins to strike. Let's create a little bit more angle. I'm going to move in. And we're bowling on test medium, nothing crazy. A lot of friction. So too much angle. Too much. But I mean, these pins, I don't think they filmed very well on TV. I don't think they look so good because they were kind of hard to see. Gold pins, they look cool in person. I mean, they look mean down there, but I don't know. Trying to bowl against them on TV, they just, I don't know. That's a lot of angle. Yeah. So I think that's the key. Your entry angle has to be perfect, because if you hit light mixer, if you hit kind of half pocket, my strike percentage right now is pretty much a big fat goose egg. Goose! What would you think you would average? What do you think your average would be different if you bowled on gold crowns on all these? What do you think? Would they change? You bowl on your house shot, whatever. What do you think would be the difference in your average for a season on these versus normal? Mixer? Yeah, see, they're not really mixer there. It's just, it's flush, but not really. Yeah, I mean, I would almost consider going to 16 pounds against these, just to have a little bit more power at the pins. The other flip side is going 14 pounds to create more revs and get around it more angle. So, I don't know. Which one would you choose? Lighter weight or heavier weight? I don't know. A couple of thought processes there. I want to try to get a light mixer. I don't hit light mixer very much. The golden 8-pin. The golden 8-pin. Awesome. Thanks a lot. As if it wasn't hard enough to strike. On gold pins, I go an 8-pin. Cool, thanks a lot. All right, I really want to try to light mixer it. I'm going to move a little right. I'm going to get up the speed a little bit. I just can't do it. That's not a shot. I should say a part of the pocket I'm aiming for typically. I can't get it there. The ball wants to come off that so hard. Went through the pins pretty great with more speed. So maybe that's the ticket. Maybe more speed is the issue there. Maybe you got to get more speed on these pins. Let's try. Let's try keeping in the oil too. How about that? Just can't seem to hit that pocket light and mix them up. I really want to see. I'm determined. That's like the hardest thing for me right now. I don't get it. I shouldn't say right now. I don't hit light mixer very much. You go back and watch a lot of my videos, light mixer is not my hit. All right, let's really get that speed up then and get it out a little more. Can't do it. My goodness. I mean, so far with more speed, struck. Has the ball gone through the pins very well? The first one was okay, the second ones were like, eh. Let's try to send it out more wide. Let's try to maybe roll it out a little bit more. Yeah, so when I go light mixer, I'm afraid of 210ing. 2810, 210, not my favorite. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's try again. Let's try keeping the oil on the ball. Maybe not as far wide as that last one. That was sweet. Maybe I should try to hit more light mixer because that was pretty devastating, that 4-pin kicking off the wall there. A little more mass and motion there, a little more dramatic. I like to see that gold. All right, let's move way left. Let's really open up the angles. Let's see if I can get it through the pins at least once, playing the deeper angle. Let's see. No problem. Seems like straighter with more speed was better, and maybe slow hooking it. You know, Tim Chris style, slow hook the lane. That seemed to work for him. He had a bunch of good years, and I think he made quite a number of gold pin shows too. All right, let's try it again and we'll wrap this up. It's been really fun. I really enjoy bowling on these. Come on, that's a test. I hit it! Yeah, that's a 43-year-old's messenger right there with heavy pins. So that's my take on the PBA Gold Pins. Heavier pin, little less action, flashier, but ultimately harder to knock down. So, if you guys have any ideas, we could always reintroduce these pins in another challenge somewhere down the road, but let your comments down there. I want to know what you think. And please subscribe. There'll be more antics just like this. See you guys later.